In this episode, what the hell are those tigers? Are we fighting or are we playing Marco Polo? And why'd she add a spin to that dive? Unnecessary. It's still funny even today.
I know, I'm just thinking about it.
We'll add it in. Thank you for coming back from our replay reviews. My name is Leah.
And my name is Kathy.
We are two friends who are here to replay, review, and analyze your favorite video games. And since Kathy has never seen the games before, it helps me view them through her fresh eyes, almost like I'm discovering them again for the first time.
We hope it'll be a similar experience for you.
So, scene 1. With their operation compromised, Vito, Joe, and Henry scramble to clean up their mess, but things quickly go wrong. So it's Chapter 13, Exit the Dragon. We're at Joe's apartment, September 24th, 1951. It's only been 2 days since they sold off the drugs. My first note is straight away, ass.
Yeah. Yeah. And then my note is, right after that, is they're inviting Vito to join them in the back room.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to go in there, but why the invite?
I tried. What's with the invitation and then the lockout, Joe? Anyway, Vito answers a phone call. It's Henry. He says that Falcone found out about the drug deal and wants his cut, 60 grand. So they don't have enough left to pay Bruno the loan shark back. Then Henry says to meet him at the park to figure things out.
Can we pause and talk about how Vito picks up the phone and answers it?
Again? At least it wasn't his mother on the line this time.
Yeah. And while he's on the phone, that's when we notice there are tiger face cushions by the front door of Joe's apartment.
Uh-huh. But, like, not clip art. Real tiger. Pasted on
Yeah.
cushion. It's so uncanny.
Jarring.
I don't want to sit on it, that's for sure. Vito asks if Falcone knows that they were involved, and Harry says, I don't think so. I don't know if I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So he and Joe arrive at the park to find Henry being attacked by Mr. Wong's men. Henry's dead. The money's gone.
He's not just dead. He is slashed to death. That was so violent and so unnecessary, and that caught me off guard. And right before that, what also caught me off guard was Vito's stupid run.
He's clearly never really ran effectively in his life.
That's why he got caught by the police.
Truly. Twice. I don't know if we should wait to do it so long for Henry because we're going to learn more about his character. Do you want to do it now or?
Well, I guess we'll shortly know some more information. Maybe at the end of the scene.
We'll do it soon.
Yeah.
In the meantime, so long, Henry. My first question is, why did they give chase after these men instead of rushing Henry to the hospital?
We don't know if Henry was actually dead and there could have been a fighting chance.
Like you saw this just happen. Why wouldn't you try?
Why didn't they ask Henry of more questions like who did this to you, or what kind of information do I need to know next, or how can I avenge your death?
Instead, they chase after Wong's car and tail him to his restaurant, where they decide to go in guns blazing, thanks to Joe. Vito really needs to stay away from Joe at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to fight their way to Wong's office, and I'm pretty sure, I think it's at 7 minutes 28 seconds, one of the tongs says, "Come on, Marco Polo."
Oh, he did.
Which is hilarious to me.
I didn't catch that, but I like how it balances out from some of the racial slurs we heard previous, which I took offense to, and I usually don't take offense as easily.
Yeah, it's just been an unnecessary amount.
Mm-hmm. Just like the freaking lady in Joe's apartment.
They do fight their way to Wong's office, where they demand to know why Henry was killed.
Then we learn that Henry was a government informant, like a rat, I guess they would say. I think he worked with narcotics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, this is kind of like Tommy in the first game.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense the way he approached the situation, where he's just trying to get money and he's selling more dope, which shouldn't that be against everything you're doing? He wouldn't have been so happy to sell drugs with Vito and Joe. Are they sure that he really is working with the government?
I hear what you're saying. My feeling is that he started out as an informant, because if we go back to that scene where he was like, I'm here because of the war, basically my father told me to work for Clemente, and Vito's like, why is your English so good? So I think that's just his cover story. And so he came in as an undercover cop, and he's dealing the drugs just to, I would say, figure out the channels, the pathways, so that they can then shut them down.
That makes sense with the why his English, because we were always wondering why. Okay, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I was just thinking that I don't think Henry would be so happy to be recruiting people to be spreading more drugs out there. But I guess during that period of time, it makes sense.
And it makes more sense why, like, he paid Vito immediately after that one job. All these things, like, I think he's just trying to get people on his side, comfortable with him.
I feel like, though, maybe I'm just too rose-tinted glasses, that he truly is friends with Vito and Joe, maybe?
He could be.
Those montage scene he was way too happy to be part of the gang, and I'm kind of surprised that Vito and Joe weren't more angry that he was a rat.
I think it could be both. I think he could like them and even like doing this, but he knows where his loyalties have to lie. But yeah, Vito and Joe don't believe it, which leads to more conversation where Wong says that they weren't responsible for the earlier stick-up. He says, why would we take such a stupid risk and destroy our own factory?
I can't think of the phrase, but it's like when you fart and you'd be like, who farted? It's like you burn your own place just to make yourself look not guilty.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe Wong.
But it won't matter soon because he refuses to tell them where the money is and Joe just kills him. Vito's not too happy again. And then there's no way they just lose the cops by running around the corner.
This is the same cops who were immediately there and on you during the robbery.
They're the same ones that shout at us whenever they get eyes on Vito.
Suspect is about 6 feet tall, dark hair, medium build.
Okay, so they go back to Joe's and they rehash their position. Henry's dead, the money's gone, and the Tongs will think Falcone sanctioned their attack, which equals war. And they still don't want to believe Henry was a rat.
Why are they always struggling with money?
Because they're stupid. I don't know.
Like, maybe if Joe wouldn't have spent it on those stupid tiger cushions, he would have some money.
And the rest of his remodel. Don't forget about the flamingos in the background.
Oh my god, yeah.
Chapter 14, Stairway to Heaven, Oyster Bay, September 25th, 1951. So it's the next day. Joe calls Vito to get his button gear. They need to figure out how to get 55 grand for Bruno. And Joe says he's got a high-paying job from Eddie. They meet up, and he tells Vito more about it. He says, we're just going to drive there, pop some guy, drive away. Simple. Is it ever simple? Has it once been simple?
Joe's simple. That's what it is.
He says then that Eddie says it's a favor for some family from another city. Unfinished business, ratted them out to the feds. Says here they want to give us a message before we do it. So then the conversation shifts towards yesterday, not mentioning it to Eddie. Seems like they maybe have skated it under the radar. And then we arrive at the location of the hit. And it's a little familiar. How are you doing, Kathy?
I'm like, at this point, I'm like, wait a second. Wait. That's my reaction at this point. I'm still in a bit disbelief that I didn't connect it from Mafia 1, that end scene. That was like, oh my god, where Tommy gets shot by 2 people. Never made the connection in all this time that the 2 guys we saw from the previous game. Now I know their names, and it is Vito and Joe. Who would have thought this is the overlap? This is the connection. I have so many questions how Eddie knows Salieri and his guys. I did not expect this happening, and I wish we got we need to set up a mic when we watch this because I was in shock.
These last 3 chapters just keep throwing things at us. Huge things. I love this connection. The problem for me is that I already don't really care about Vito, and I hate Joe. So this just doesn't help. It'd be so much better if they gave us reasons to like Vito and Joe, and then they kill Tommy, and then we're like disappointed and shocked.
Exactly. There was nothing redeeming about them, but even if there were, this really would have said dude, I don't like you anymore. And we already don't like them. So this is making me kind of like not hate them, but
Yeah.
it kind of makes me confirm that they're never going to be mother respecters in my eye because I respected Tommy. And they killed him without asking questions.
Well, you bring up a valid point because they're like not wanting to believe that Henry was working with the feds. But then on the drive to kill Tommy, they're like, what'd this guy do? Oh, he ratted out to the feds. And Vito's like, well, then he deserved it. But he could be Henry to someone else, you know? It's
Yeah.
like, how come Henry, you don't want to believe it, but this guy, you just believe it instantly to the point of killing him? Irish federal agent guy that Tommy was talking to, I forget his name. He kept his word because Tommy was under government protection. We see them get chased off by the feds, so I like that. I like knowing that they held up their end of the deal. They failed here, but at least Tommy had a lot longer and happier life than he could have.
But I do wish we got more interactions with the Fed. It's very one-sided within Mafia Triad and the Irish. We know the Fed's one big player in this game. We'll see it in the next scenes. I just wish we got more of that side so we understand. Mafia 1 did it well because we did have some of those interactions when Tommy's going through his life story. But had there been more of that, and maybe we see more of what Henry was doing on the side, and it could still have Vito as the main character. I just wanted more.
After dropping off Joe, Vito heads to the port to see if Derek has any work. He tells him that Frank's organizing a sit-down with the other bosses and took almost all of his guys as bodyguards. So he needs Vito's help in discouraging a strike at the port. Does not go as planned. One of the workers recognizes Vito's name and had known his father, and they tell Vito that Derek killed his father. At which point Vito aims his gun at Derek, and then Steve just like straight up admits to drowning him, more or less, right?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Why does Vito care? Vito obviously didn't respect his parents at all, and he knew that his dad was taking a lot of debt and he didn't care for him. He didn't really respect him. All of a sudden, the game wants us to be like, oh, he's such a great son. No, he's not.
Yeah.
He didn't care about his mom.
Right, he didn't care. I don't even think he liked his dad.
Exactly.
And that's kind of, I feel like, what pushed him into going into the mafia was to not be like him. And maybe now he's realizing, oh, the people like me are the people that kill my father and other people's fathers. So I understand him being upset, but I don't think that he would have come to that understanding so immediately. And then Derek says, you took an oath. Loyalty to the family is greater than loyalty to our own families. Vito has been living up to that until this point. So like you said, I just don't understand.
And then Derek dies very anticlimactically. Like,
Yeah.
I missed it. We were chatting and I missed his death. And we're like, wait a second, did he die? That's how amazing it was.
We need to watch it because I have a note and I don't know what it's in reference to, but for some reason I can't open a new tab on my Chrome right now, so you have to pull it up.
I'll pull it up.
It should be about, I don't know, maybe like 35, 36 minutes.
35. Okay.
Okay, so that's the line I was thinking about when he says,
I'd spent my whole life trying not to make the same mistakes my old man did. Then I find out I'm following in his footsteps.
how?
Calm down.
I don't remember your father murdering a mafia port owner guy. Like, what?
More so than that, too. It's that Vito has been consistently murdering people without asking too many questions, and his dad wasn't going around shooting, killing people.
Do you just want to be different or do you want to be a better person? Because you're not doing the second one of those things.
Vito is way too dramatic.
He quickly moves on from this realization about his father when he steals money from Derek's desk. Do we need to do so long for Derek? All I have is that he eats a lot. He seems kind of shitty.
Nothing about him.
Nothing redeeming. Quick one. Vito then earns the rest of the money by bringing cars to Brewski in the junkyard and then heads to Joe's. But after checking in a few times, Vito is unable to find him.
I immediately went to Joe's dead.
Yeah, same.
He's gone. Or he took the money and ran.
I wish that is what happened.
Just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
I'd rather have that happen, honestly. Instead, 6 hours later, there's still no sign of Joe. So Vito heads to the Falcon to see if he's with Eddie. In this conversation with Eddie, he has to pretend he has no idea about Henry. And then it sounds like the Tongs are threatening Vinci and will likely move on to Falcone due to the massacre carried out by we know who.
I don't understand how Vito can get away with so many things in this game so far, even up through here.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing in the rat, but then not being held accountable for it. Because he vouched for him. Like, Eddie should have killed Vito at that point. The game should have ended there, in my opinion.
I want to like him, but I can't.
Is this one of our most disliked main characters so far? I'm trying to think back to.
I think so. And we'll come back to it because, we'll come back to it at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But they're making it hard for me to relate to Vito right now. Next, Vito heads to Giuseppe's on the hunt for Joe. He tells Vito that Joe is here, but some of Vinci's guys came and took him away. Mr. Vinci wanted a word with him. Vito arrives at Vinci's bar and promptly gets knocked out. He then wakes up to find himself tied up next to Joe. And then Vinci approaches and he's talking about all the stuff that's gone down and says that the city's out of control. He's getting threatened. And he just wants them to tell him what's going on. But lucky for them, after getting tortured a tad, they're able to break free and manage to escape, and Vito takes Joe to El Greco because I think he has broken ribs or something. And I think, is this where the lady jumps out of the way?
Yes. Okay, before that, there's a delayed screen when you hit a red car, and then you yank the woman out, and then,
Yeah.
And then one scene over, you run over another woman with your car. And
I know. And then I push her. But she dives into a wall and then does like a corkscrew barrel roll. Like, what? What is she doing? It's hilarious.
It's so dramatic.
We laughed. We had to go back and rewatch it, and we laughed way too hard at it. It was really funny for some reason. It's still funny today.
The fact that I'm trying to tamper down my giggles right now.
I know. So he heads to deliver the money to Bruno. Vito does. The exchange goes well, and then Bruno asks him his name. And first of all, I don't understand why Vito just gives his name to people like this. First and last. Secondly, to our point that you made earlier, I don't understand why Vito suddenly seems to not hate his father anymore. Because we learn here that Bruno is the loan shark that had him in debt.
And why do you need to give your name out to someone? So my issue with that is that he probably feels like he's finally made it up high enough in the mafia chain of command that he can give out his name and people are afraid of him. But it's not that situation. He's not that memorable. And I don't understand also why he's feeling so like man of honor. That's how I feel like he's feeling like right now. And I don't like it. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all, but what Bruno says makes sense. He says, I didn't make him borrow that money now, did I? Just like I didn't make you.
I like Bruno for that. I don't like what he does, but I kind of like how he pushes Vito and tells him that get off your high horse.
Are we ready for the final chapter of the game?
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 15, Per Aspera ad Astra. I did Google it. I found that it means either to the stars through difficulties or through the roughness of the road to the stars, which fits because we go to a planetarium or something.
So stupid, but okay.
Yeah, okay. So we're in Oyster Bay. The next day, the 26th of September, 1951. We start with some Vito voiceover, which is a change. He says,
The truth was gonna come out sooner or later. And then we were gonna have Falcone after us, along with the Chinese and Vinci.
And whose fault is that?
I don't understand how he's never done any self-reflection, be like, this is my fault.
And how did he rescue his photo album before he jumped out the window of his burning house?
Yeah, that made no sense too, now that you say that. How did he have that?
Maybe there's something left after the fire. I don't know. But I would like to know how that photo book is there. So Vito then gets a call from Eddie, who says that Falcone wants to see him at the planetarium. On his way out, a car stops him, and inside we see Leo, so I guess he didn't leave, who says, just get in the damn car, now. And then he explains, half our guys are dead, half of Mr. Chu's guys are dead, who is in the car with them. And now the feds are breathing down everybody's necks because of you.
If it wasn't for me, you would have already been taken care of. So you're gonna listen to what I have to say, and you're gonna listen good.
He confirms that Henry was working with the feds, and that's why they're so hot and bothered. And then Leo says, but I don't forget my friends. I called in a few favors, got you one more chance to make this right. and tells him he needs to get rid of Falcone, otherwise everyone wants Vito dead.
One quick question. I don't understand how getting rid of Falcone's going to solve any of their issues. You know what I mean? Like, what if Falcone's loyal men want to seek vengeance?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how killing one person is going to solve all their problems.
Vito shoots his way to Falcone at the planetarium. And Falcone says, "This is who they send. This is an insult. You really think they're just going to let you walk after everything you did?" Fair question.
Mm-hmm. What's going to happen to Leo after he reveals that he's not dead? I mean, yes, Henry didn't do his job, but does no one else check each other's work? Isn't that going to get more people in trouble? And isn't that going to be putting another target on Leo's back?
Well, I think he's okay because it was Falcone that wanted him dead.
Okay.
So I think if Falcone's the one we're taking out, then no one has an issue with Leo being alive.
Okay.
That's how I see it. Then Joe comes out of nowhere and puts a gun to Vito's head. What do we think?
I wasn't surprised because this entire time, I've been waiting for the other shoe to drop that Joe turns on Vito. What was surprising was that Joe doesn't turn on Vito and they keep their bromance thing. And I think this is, at this point, I realize this game really wants us to feel like it's Joe and Vito, bromance forever. Which is similar to Tommy and the two other guys, which I already forgot their names. But it doesn't work. I just, it doesn't work. The fact that I'm surprised that Joe would be loyal is a pretty big indicator how we see him interact with Vito throughout this entire game.
I wanted Vito to turn on Joe. That's what I wanted. Because how many shitty situations has Joe put him into? That would have felt so good. And I would have been like, finally, Vito. You're seeing things clearly. You're not being stupid. But no, he's listening to Falcone, who says, "They're using you, Vito. Just like Clemente used you. Just like I used you. Just like that rat Henry used you. You vouched for that piece of shit, brought him into my house. And now, you dumb you're going to pay for it." And this is where he commands Joe to kill Vito. But instead, they turn on Falcone.
I think it's dumb.
Joe sucks. Like you said, I'd rather he did betray Vito. Because then I might feel a little bit bad for Vito, and I might like him a little bit more.
I feel like they're trying to have us respect Joe a bit more, but that didn't happen.
No.
I don't mean to bash this game so much, but the way the storytelling and what Vito does, not good.
It's just these two characters. I just don't understand what they're... I don't understand what they want from us with these two characters, you know? But anyway, they kill him. Vito has, I think it's kind of cringy, his little, "I killed for my family. I killed for my country. But this one is for me." And one question. Why does he hate Falcone so much? You screwed up, Vito. What do you expect? Of course he's going to want you dead.
He has killed for himself to further himself up the chain in the mafia business. So, how's this for himself?
I don't
This
know.
is for Leo. Just like him killing Tommy is for Eddie, him killing everyone else for themselves. Even him killing Derek was for his dad. So stop pretending like this is for yourself and you're happy to do it.
And maybe we're missing something that Falcone did, but I just don't understand the hate. You should have expected him to want to kill you after everything you've done.
Leo did say this is your last chance, so this is not for yourself in that way. This is, you're doing it because Leo told you to be a good boy and kill the guy.
That's true. He did tell him to do it very sternly. Shut up, Vito. What are you even saying? Oh, gosh. Well, do we need to do so long for Falcone? I mean, I don't feel like we know him that well, but...
I didn't. I don't feel right to say something.
I mean, I would say mother, but it seems like everyone in the Mafia is doing the drug stuff, so it seems pretty standard for them.
Yeah. Mother, maybe mother neutral, who knows?
Yeah. Do we need to go back to Henry now that we have all the information about him? Do it so long?
I struggle with this because present day, I think he would be a mother because no matter what, even if you're trying to prevent the spread of drugs, I can't be okay with you spreading more drugs to stop something. But in the context of this game where everyone is is doing drugs and that's your standard baseline, I think he would be a bit over mother neutral into the mother respecter category. There's something about him that I like more than Vito, but I can't pinpoint what it is that I like more about him than Vito. Maybe it's that he let Leo live, and maybe that was because of his federal background. I can't pinpoint what it is. I don't know if you were able to identify exactly why.
He's a professional.
Yeah.
He does what he's asked for 2 jobs, I think. I mean, I kind of get your point about spreading drugs, but I think he more stepped in where someone else would have. And you kind of have to follow the path to know where it goes. And so I think that is what would try to justify that. On the Mafia side of things, he seems pretty loyal. He does what he's asked. He's good to Vito and Joe. I just feel like he's a professional. He's good at what he does.
That's the thing. I think you nailed it. He's professional without screwing things over and causing bigger issues.
And of all the people that have like jumped family lines, he had a reason. I'm afraid to die because you're going to kill me, so I'm going to join you. That makes sense. And as a cop, it also makes sense because it's like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to now go in here and infiltrate this family. Why did everyone else jump ship all the time? I just think he was better than anyone else.
Yeah.
He had a brain on him.
I think that's that he had a brain and he was using it.
So I think for me, he has to be a mother respecter, especially in the context of this game. So Vito and Joe leave, best of friends, and Leo and friends are waiting for them. They say, we're going to the cat house.
Why?
At a time like this? But Leo needs to talk to Vito, so the rest of them take a different car. At some point, the car with Joe takes a turn. Vito looks at Leo like, huh? And then he says, Joe wasn't part of our deal.
Sorry. That's so accurate with how I picture Vito doing. I was not expecting that.
But he says Joe wasn't part of our deal. Do we need to do a so long for Joe? I'm feeling it's pretty likely he's dead.
Without seeing Joe dead, there's a chance that they're in Mafia 3 be like, hold up, we're missing a villain. Let's bring in Joe. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'm comfortable saying that he's dead. If he was, mother with a tiny bit of maybe like mother neutral for not turning on Vito.
Yeah.
But predominantly mother, especially how he treats women. I needed our listeners to know during this entire last 30 seconds, 1 minute of this game, the entire conversation happening in your apartment is me going, what do you mean? And you're like, but wait. And I'm like, but what do you mean?
It's over. That's how it ends.
I don't understand. I didn't see like the red bar at the bottom of the video to see when the video ends. I was not expecting. I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, there should be something else. How can it end like that?
So this is where, okay. Here are my closing thoughts for now. Ending is a bit weak for me. Feels kind of sudden, feels kind of rushed. And this ending is why the only way that I would like Vito as a character is if this game sets him up to be a villain in the next game, which I know nothing about, because he's been through a lot of conditioning, mental and physical, to make him a good villain. And he has reasons to be angry now, especially if they take Joe away to kill him. And so I feel like that's the only way to justify these characters and this abrupt ending is if this leads into Vito becoming a villain. Because I would love to see him as a villain. He's already kind of the bad guy for killing Tommy.
If that's the case, I want to add that maybe one of Tommy's kids or grandkids become the person who's our main lead and tries to take down Vito. I would like to see that happening. At the same time, I'm kind of done seeing Vito. I don't even want to see him as a villain. I don't care for him. I don't really like his thought process, so I don't know how well I would appreciate him being a villain.
Yeah, the way I see it is like he would snap after this. And so we wouldn't be seeing the like poor decision making. It would just be like he's let loose and now he's basically just like evil.
Okay.
So it'd be a different Vito because he's snapped.
I wish we had more conclusion on Joe. I don't like implying that he's dead but not confirmed. I feel like there could be so many things happening within the next minute that they shouldn't have closed it here.
They already made us think Joe was dead earlier, so I don't know. Who knows what the third game will be like, but I kind of hope they killed him, and I kind of hope Vito becomes a villain.
I kind of wish that Vito and Joe died in the end. Like, maybe they kill Falcone too, but they don't make it out alive.
Yeah. I want to be the cop in the next game. I want to be the undercover Fed in the next game.
I want to be on the other side because I'm kind of sick of the video games of killing police and making the police look like bad people. I want to see their perspective. Vito is unlikable enough that we'd be okay with being another player killing him.
Yeah.
In the sense of law enforcement and whatnot. I don't feel anything for this game, and that's... I even felt more about how things ended and maybe some lasting effects from previous games. Even like the Impatient or Outlast, it made me think about the ending, and it bothered me for a few days because I'm like just thinking about it and thinking through like what happened, what it is, what could go on in the next game if there was. But this game, I'm like, meh, okay, whatever.
I guess it's over.
Yeah, so different than Red Dead Redemption. Like our thoughts and our emotions about the end of the game.
That's what happens when you give us an emotional character that we can connect to versus a stupid, trashy bad boy.
Yeah, it's pretty upsetting to me that I feel like I wasted a lot of our time with this game. Like, not in the sense that I like what we do, in the sense that if I was the person playing this game and I played it, I'd be like, what a waste of 10 hours.
The whole rest of the game would feel better if we liked Vito. Like, they just really dropped the ball on the character here. They made him too unlikable. Give him some more reasonings for doing what he does, at least.
Exactly, and what should have happened was we should have been Henry.
The fact that we like Henry the most.
Yeah.
Not a good sign. That's the only character that has a struggle for where he is, and we don't even find out about that struggle till the end of the game.
I don't even have words.
No. I'm excited to see what the next game is, though, because I mean, they did that right, because I need some answers about Vito. So they at least are making me want to play the third game. I think we've got a lot of processing to do before we record this summary.
Audacity on 1, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to send in any questions, comments, or game suggestions. You can find all our contact info on our website, replayreviewspod.com, or contact us directly through our site.
Did we completely miss something? Are we way off the mark? Or you just want us to take a deeper look at anything from the game? We'll tackle any topics you all want to hear in our season wrap-up episode.
We also have a Reddit where we discuss anything we're curious about. Go take a look and let us know what you're thinking. Our theme music is Condemned by Eggy Toast. They'll play you out, and we'll be back next week with the summary episode.